Let me bring you some comments which are coming into us here at World Have Your Say. We're discussing a report which has placed India as the 4th worst place in the world for women. Ezzy in the UK tweets, why are people surprised with India being placed in the top 5 worst place in the world for women? It's probably and absolutely true. Peter in Kenya says on Facebook, shock or not, I sure do hope this is a wake-up call to India's government to deal decisively with deeds such as honour killings that have been going on in the country unpunished. And Apong in Ghana also says on Facebook.com/World Have Your Say, I'm not surprised at all. I even expected India to be second. What about Peter's point there, the idea of needing to deal with honour killings? And Keita, do you think that the Indian government is doing enough to tackle that issue?
The honour killing, no, not really, because again, there's politics involved. The regions where honour killing is very prevalent, is highly prevalent, is one of the areas where, which is so-called the vote bank for our government. I would not really say that they want to tackle that situation. Though they keep saying, oh, we're planning to do something, and oh, the bill is in action and all. But, and it all happens so openly. The people who promote or support honour killing have no shame, or they don't even feel that it's a crime. Again, coming back to the mentality, the government has to work at the grassroots level. They have to change the mentality, the thinking of the people, which the government is failing to do by creating, something like different cabins for women in the metro or special buses for women. I do not think they're really removing the problem from its base.
I agree, and I think, does that the fact that you have separate cabins for women is a huge statement. I think things like, when a child is born, if it is a boy, then you bring sweets or mithai, but if it's a girl, then you don't bring anything. It's these cultural nuances that are still feeding into these cultural stereotypes of women. And I think we need to look at the media and also the film industry, which has a huge impact on everyday life. If you look at images of women in Bollywood today, it's either that you are this virginal bride or you are this, super sexy woman that you need to be. The female isn't seen as a multi-layered personality. It is an either-or, and it comes back to our history as well. We look at images of Sita and how she had to prove her worth by walking through fire. Now, where are the stories about men like that? Where do they have to prove their worth? There is never that. And I think the media, the TV producers of these serials that thousands of people tune into every day, they need to address this as well.
Yes, completely.
Kiran, in Mumbai, do you think it's also the responsibility of women themselves to stand up and demand a change?
Absolutely. I mean, we are seeing a revolution of sorts in rural areas. In the land acquisition protests which are happening across UP, there are a substantial number of women who are standing up, who are giving speeches, who are taking a very decisive role in the agitations. There are women across rural areas who are doing well for themselves, who are getting educated. There are NGOs who are reaching out and creating awareness. And there are women among the rural women themselves who are being leaders of sorts among their villages and talking about how female feticide isn't something one should opt for, and trying to tell families that you need to educate your women, you need to educate the girl child. You need not to marry your girl when she's so young as a child bride. So there is a lot that is happening. Women are getting aware and they are getting informed. They are standing up for themselves. And I'd just like to come back to the point of the honor killings. The area where this happens the most is in North India, where you also have the feticides really high. So it's the Haryana section, the Haryana segment, and that area has the worst gender ratio ever. In fact, the gender ratio is so bad out there that they have to actually import brides. They can't find brides from within their community. So it's something that is to do with the patriarchy that is so dominant in that area among that particular, I wouldn't say just Haryana, but the North Indian male who assumes that a woman is a lesser being.
Kalpana, I just want to bring Kalpana in because we're going to wrap up this discussion in the next couple of minutes, and I'm keen to get Kalpana's view on this. Do you think that women need to be stronger and are able to stand up and proclaim that things have to change?
I strongly feel women need to be much stronger because they need to demand things. unless we ourselves are not doing anything for our own, who else will do for us? As far as woman honor killing thing is there, anything else, we are not educated from beginning, then we are having the problems that we are considered as a lesser being, as Kiran was mentioning. So these are certain issues, and obviously it's a kind of circle. When fetus is aborted, it's a woman or girl fetus. When they are there, they are not taught well, especially in rural areas, or for that matter, whole of the northern region. I belong to northern region, and I understand the kind of feeling people have when a girl child is born, that it is a liability, it has to somehow get rid of. That's why perhaps most of the women, more than 45% I believe was the rate, something that women are married before age of 18, which is a legal age within India. So these are the things which are there, and unless women themselves are not willing to take action,
Women need to take action. Kalpana, thank you very much for joining us in the Delhi studio. Thank you also to Kiran on the line from Mumbai, and Ankita in Delhi, and also to Kruti here in the World Have Your Say studio. Lots of comments still coming into us. Alan in Arizona on Facebook says, this doesn't surprise me. I find how poorly women, our mothers and the mothers of our children, are treated in a country to be disturbingly direct and significant sign of countries' overall character and religious moral standard. And Marvi in Pakistan tweets, the most dangerous place for women, Afghanistan, Congo, Pakistan, all right. But what surprises me is India. So many successful experiments there. Well, if you want to carry on this conversation, you can, as ever, at the blog worldhaveyoursay.com.